This is going to be quite the weekend, and you could imagine this game is, you can say come down to coaching and the defense and St. Brown or Jefferson, but we are looking at two turnover-prone quarterbacks. There's no denying it. Who, over the last few run of games, actually have not been turning the ball over and have been pretty effective. And in the last 5 games, what do the Vikings and Lions share in common? They're both 4-1. Which quarterback will look like their typical / average self? Will it be Kirk Cousins? By the way, it's not a primetime game. Or will it be Jared Goff, who at home has been pretty damn good, actually? That, to me, is the matchup. That, to me, is who's going to win this game? The quarterback that plays better. And you know what? You could say that most weekends, but it's never been more true this Sunday. Vikings, Lions, Cousins, Goff. Which quarterback comes down 10, 15%? And which quarterback maybe plays above their level? To me, that's the conversation, Jeff. Who turns the ball over, who doesn't? These quarterbacks are who I'm watching on Sunday.
Yeah, no question. Very similar quarterbacks. Obviously, Jared Goff, the difference between them is Jared's had postseason success, but this isn't the postseason. I mean, this is a home game late in the season. And again, Jared Goff at home, that's where he plays his best football. And we've seen that all year. Kirk Cousins, like you said, it's not prime time, so you're going to see Kirk. But even not in prime time, Kirk has shown he could turn the ball over. The biggest, I guess, similarity between the two is if you can get pressure on either of these quarterbacks, it's going to make their job a lot harder, just like any quarterback. But for these two specifically under pressure, they're not the best. So that's going to be, the deciding factor. And I think Jared Goff has the matchup advantage here. I mean, he has the better offensive line. He has at least guys, not weapons like Kirk Cousins, but still an offensive line that can protect him. So Kirk Cousins, the key to success is simply just putting him under pressure. That's what they were able to do early in the season as well. The secondary played well. Jeff Okudah having safety help for Justin Jefferson. I know Thielen got free for a touchdown, but still, nonetheless, overall, this defense has to have that bend, don't break. And they got to get after Kirk and make him uncomfortable. But both these quarterbacks, Adam, it's going to be a battle. I mean, I would probably give the edge to Jared simply because it's at home. And I think he's riding on an all-time high of confidence with how this offense has been playing. With Kirk and the Vikings offense, they've been good at times. They've struggled at times. It's been up and down. They've won a lot of close games, but give me Jared Goff in this advantage. I think he has it coming into this game.
Both teams 4-1 in their last 5 games. Jared Goff has not thrown an interception in his last 5 games.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
Or excuse me, he's thrown 1 in his last 6. I apologize. You know how many Kirk Cousins has thrown? 4. So he's been making the mistakes.
Right.
He's been turning over the ball even when they win games. So if you're the Lions and you've been winning the turnover battle recently, and that's why you're winning games now, and the defense is playing better, the question becomes how many turnovers? Can you get Kirk Cousins in a place where he's going to give you 2 interceptions?
Right.
That's the conversation, man. I'm with you. I'm more confident in Goff this weekend. Jameson Williams probably 10, 15% more expanded on the playbook. Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, as usual, will be the guy. They're going to run the ball. Swift, the healthiest he's been. I think Goff's in a really good spot right now. My only question for Minnesota is, we know Jefferson, we know Thielen, we know Cook, we know Hawkinson. What game plan do you have to ensure that no matter what the Lions do on offense, you're able to go down the field and score? Because again, this is not a complete defense. A defense that's playing above their level at the moment. But if you do decide to shadow a safety on Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, TJ Hawkinson, and Dalvin Cook, that's a lot to deal with. I think Minnesota poses a lot of problems. It's whether or not Kirk Cousins is going to be primetime Kirk or 1 o'clock Kirk. Fair or not fair?
No, fair. I mean, I think at the same time, too, you're looking at this defense for the Vikings and the Lions. Both give up a ton of yards. Well, lately, the Lions have been playing better, but I'm talking season-wise. They both give up a ton of yards, but the difference is with both these defenses, turnovers. And I think that's going to be the narrative coming into Sunday is who can protect the football. I know that's the typical, it's cliche, who can win the turnover battle, but that's the reality of this game. I mean, who can take care of the football, Goff or Kirk Cousins? And I think that's going to really turn out to be who comes in victory. And hopefully it's the Lions defense creating turnovers.
We'll see. It's going to be quite the test. Daniil Hunter on the edge, Zadarius Smith, and then you have Aiden Hutchinson, Pascal, James Houston now.
And their secondary, it's
Harrison Smith.
It's besides Harrison, it's weak. I mean, they've had injuries at corner.
And Patrick Peterson hasn't been a Pro Bowler like his early days.
Right.
So
he's been
good
opportunistic
at times.
Yeah.
But the Lions, I think, again, they will have their way for the most part with Minnesota's defense.
Yeah.
The question is, can the Minnesota Vikings offense have their way? I think they can. That's the one thing we need to understand. With that amount of firepower, there is no game plan in theory where you're just going to say, let's shut down Cook. Well, then you're going to have to put players in the box. The second you do that, you expose yourself to Justin Jefferson. Well, we're going to put safety help always for the whole game on Justin Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Just hand the ball off here. Okay, thank you. I'm just going to throw it to Adam Thielen here.
Or TJ now?
TJ Hawkinson over the middle.
Right.
It's obviously, I'm making it sound much more simple than it is. But I do think Minnesota poses more problems, or just as many problems, as the Lions offense does for the equal side of the ball on defense.
How do you approach it then? Who's your number one? If you're Aaron Glenn,
I have to focus on somebody,
you're game
Dalvin
planning.
Cook.
Dalvin
Cook.
I would agree with you.
I need to limit Dalvin Cook. I don't need them running the ball and getting confidence. I do not want them in play action sets.
No.
If I'm in 2nd and 3, 2nd and 2 situations, Minnesota's very dangerous. Have to avoid it. Dalvin Cook first and foremost. Jeff Okudah, looking at you. Can you have a big-time game again against Justin Jefferson? Will that require Kirby Joseph? Will that require more help? We'll see. But for me, the focus has to be Cook, because Minnesota, in drop-back situations, are more predictable. It tees off Houston. It tees off Aiden. You get to go after Kirk. Instead of 2nd and 2, 2nd and 4, they're going to go deep play action like Detroit loves to do. Intermediate, underneath crossing routes, a deep shot downfield to Jefferson. Thielen over the middle. Hawkinson underneath, that goes for 12, 15. That's the Minnesota that's dangerous. You take away the run game, you're going to probably see Kirk throw for 270, 290, 300. But is it an effective amount of yards?
And is he turning the ball over?
Are they going to be able to score in the red zone? Score in the red zone if you take away Cook. That's where my head's at.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
No, I agree with you. I think if you stop the run, obviously Kirk and Jared very similar. You want to get both those guys in play action situations, especially with the weapons Kirk has. But on top of that too, if you limit the run, you limit Dalvin. I don't know if you completely shut him down, but you can limit him. Again, you're forcing Kirk and this Vikings offense
a shutdown
into
mean,
more.
Right?
You're not doing. I mean, you're limiting, right?
It's like
hard
Devontae Smith.
Shut
him
anybody down.
Well, Miles Sanders and A.J. Brown killed you, so what does that mean?
Right, but with this offense, if you could force them into passing sets, not only, like you said, I think you hit on it, with James Houston, Aiden Hutchinson, these guys running free, but also you're forcing a quarterback to completely just stick to passing the ball when he's turning the ball over lately. So that's the key to success.
You got it,
You
man.
want to put the ball in Kirk's hands. That's what you want to do.